Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvadaya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharya Nachiketase cha. So we need to resume from the Sambandha Bhaashyam of the 12th mantra, 2, 3, 12. So let us chant that.
Swapnaji, your turn to chant.
बुद्ध्यादिचेष्टा विषयं चेत्
बुद्ध्यादिचेष्टा विषयं चेत्
ब्रह्म इदं तद् इति विशेषतः गृह्येत।
ब्रह्म इदं तद् इति विशेषतः गृह्येत।
बुद्ध्यादि उपरमे च
बुद्ध्यादि उपरमे च
ग्रहण कारण अभावात्
ग्रहण कारण अभावात्
अनुपलभ्यमानम्
अनुपलभ्यमानम्
न अस्ति एव ब्रह्म।
न अस्ति एव ब्रह्म।
Okay. So last class we had completed mantra 11. Tam yogamiti manyante sthiram indriyadhara. Where Yamadharmaraja was telling Nachiketa that the the state of mind described in mantra 10 is called as yoga, which in our language is nididhyasanam, is the process we follow after the completion of Shravanam and Mananam. Completion means what? There is no such thing as completion, but completion of what is Shravanam meant for? Shravanam is meant for avarana nivritti. Avarana nivritti means that that cover, that which covers my knowledge, that cover is removed. Means now I understand what it is. I understand. I understand Jagat Karanam Brahma. Aham Brahma Asmi. Jagat Mithya Brahma Satyam. All this is crystal clear. Well, it's clear, not crystal clear. Why? Because samshaya doubts are there. And that is why I need mananam. And mananam just make sure whichever way I look at it, I'm able to see properly. Unshaken knowledge is there. Then what happens? So Shravanam and Mananam does their job. And then I have to do Nididhyasanam because there is this habitual error. Habitual for Janmadi. I have been responding as an insecure jiva. And therefore my response is going to be is conditioned by the past. And so to be free from the conditioning of the past, I have to go through what is called Nididhyasana. And everybody does not need Nididhyasana. It all depends on the past, karma, samskara, and all that. But textbook, it's just a textbook process. So that Nididhyasana is being talked about in mantra 10, and in 11 he's saying that process is called yoga. We saw that. And apramattaha tada bhavati yogaha hi prabhavapyayo. So may the person be alert. Because the process is like that, alertness is needed. So as to keep the mind at in the occupation of what it is meant to be occupied with. And so apramattaha, may the person be alert. And Shankara gave two meanings to that. We saw that. Now, last time I introduced this to you. So there is a question. There is a question. Brahma is not available for any comprehension. It's not available for any description. So many statements are there in the Vedas. It says Brahma cannot be described. It cannot be objectified. It has no attributes. Okay? And Upanishad says that in so many words. Ashabdamasparsham. Here itself in this Upanishad we saw. Ashabdamasparsham arupam. Ashabdamasparsham arupam avyayam. Tatharasam nityam agandhavachayat. We saw that earlier sometime ago. Right here itself. And so, antavanta ime dehaha. Bhagavad Gita. Nityasyokta sharirinaha. Anashino prameyasya. Aprameyasya. Aprameyaha. At least I should be able to conceptualize it. No, Brahma cannot be conceptualized. Why? Because the conceptualizer is Brahma. And so anything I conceptualize becomes a finite entity. So I can't finitize Brahma. So aprameyasya, avyaktoyam achintyoyam, avikaryoyam uchyate, all avinashi. Like this it goes. And so,
In
therefore,
Mandukya 7th mantra also same.
seventh is also same. That's fine. So like this, we have many things. So there, nanta prajnam, nabahish prajnam, nabhayata prajnam, like that, there is a mantra. Now that you mentioned it, nanta prajnam, nabahish prajnam, nabhayata prajnam, and then na prajnanaganam, na prajnam, na prajnam, adrishyam, avyavaharyam, agrahyam, alakshanam, achintyam, avyapadesham, ekatma pratyasaram, prapanchopashamam, shantam, shivam, advaitam, chaturtham, manyante sa atma sa vigneyaha. I'm saying it for my benefit actually, because these mantras have to be memorized, have to be there. And if you don't say it, then it will go off. The mind is like that, what to do. So I said it for my sake. And so adrishyam, there adrishyam, avyavaharyam. Adrishyam means not visible to the eyes. Okay. Then avyavaharyam, not available for any transaction. Okay. Then agrahyam, you can't grasp it in any way. Either physically grasp it, not possible. Any other way you can grasp, that also is not possible. Agrahyam, alakshanam, it defies your attempt to define it. It defies. It's like trying to this seed, I think of this. Agrahyam, I should use this example. The orange seeds, if you drop it by mistake, try picking it up. Try picking, just press picking it up. You have to be a little smart to pick it up because it just escape like that. So like that, agrahyam. Then alakshanam. Then achintyam, not available for any thought. And then avyapadeshyam, cannot be described. There are some words like that. That's what Satish ji is saying. Anyway, so this is the kind of Brahma we are talking about. Therefore, this is a waste of time. All this exercise is a waste of time. How am I going to understand this Brahma? On the other hand, you're saying Jnana Yoga, Krishna is talking about. And this is just it's like chasing one's tail, That's the idea here. And so many other scholars also say that, Mimamsakas also, they argue like that. The Brahma Nasti. Jaina, Bauddha and all, Nasti. Shunyavada, Nasti. They prefer Nasti. And Vishishtadvaita also is that's why it's very, very convenient. We don't have to worry about all the Brahma and all. Everything is Satyam. Everything is Satyam. Is there any doubt? Will anybody have a doubt? When somebody says Sarvam Satyam, yeah, of course everything is Satyam. And so that's the way to go, So this Nirgunam Brahma and all you have to give up. And so, but then Shastra has to be brought in. And this, our chapter 4, sloka number 40, says, don't doubt like that. Ajñascha, Ashraddhadanascha, Samshayatma Vinashyati. Krishna says, Samshayatma, the person who doubts like this, and doubts the Veda, doubts this and doubts this Rishi, that Rishi, everything start doubting. This doubting guy, doubting Thomas and all they say. So doubting guy, Vinashyati. Vinashyati, don't doubt the Veda. Because Matru Pitru Sahasra Hitaishini. Hey, Veda cannot mean ill will for anybody. So don't doubt it. Nayam lokosti na paraha na sukham samshayatmana. For a doubting person, one who doubts the Veda, there is no joy at all possible. Like that, Krishna made a very bold statement there. And therefore, Shraddha, have Shraddha in the Veda. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. All these statements are there. Jnanam labdva param shantim nachirena adhigacchati. So these are all, they give us a lot of confidence to pursue this, this, uh, this particular Brahma Jnanam. Therefore, Brahma asti. Accepted Brahma asti. Accepted Brahma is Jagat Karanam. Not simply asti, some entity asti. And it, but Jagat Karanam. Okay, so what if Brahma is Jagat Karanam? How does it make a difference to me? Wait a minute. Brahma asti Jagat Karanam. And that Jagat Karanam Aham asmi. Aham asmi. Don't forget the Aham. You drop off the Aham. If you drop the Aham, it is only asti. Brahma asti. Ekam Brahma asti. One Brahma is there. Like some star is there. Many stars are there. We don't know. Some stars we know they exist. And every other day they are finding out newer and newer stars. Okay, let the stars be. So what? It's not like that. Brahma Asti. You have to go from Brahma Asti to Brahma Asmi. That's the huge shift. That's what makes a whole difference. That's why Vedanta shines like a pendant, it just shines. Because Brahma Asmi. Asmi. That is why this whole pursuit is meaningful to me. Otherwise, it will become an academic exercise. And that is why people say it's all theory, you have to practice. There is no theory practice here. Because Brahma Asmi, that Avinashi Brahma Asmi, that Jagat Karanam Brahma Asmi, that Nityam Brahma Aham Asmi. That is Jnana. And so these are all things we have to just remind ourselves. And another Upanishad says, Taittiriya Upanishad. Asanneva sa bhavati asad brahmeti veda ched asti brahmeti ched veda santamenam tato viduruti. So very beautiful. Asanneva sa bhavati asad brahmeti veda ched. A guy who says Brahma is asat doesn't exist. Brahma doesn't exist. Asanneva sa bhavati. That person himself is asat. That person itself, he is making himself non-existent because he is Brahma. So if you say Brahma doesn't exist, he's saying I don't exist. He's contradicting himself. He's negating himself. He's ruining himself. Okay. He is destroying himself. Asanneva sa bhavati. On the other hand, the guy who says Brahma asti brahmeti ched veda. Ched, asti Brahma iti ched Veda. If a person says, a person knows Brahma asti Brahmeti ched Veda, sampamenam tato viduriti, then that person also exists. And his existence is going to be useful for that person. Viduriti, like that the rishis say. Like that, the Taittiriya Upanishad, beautiful is also there. So therefore, I must have some Shraddha. Brahma asti iti buddhi. I must entertain. And we all entertain that. And finally, through the Shastram and through the logic, Shastram and Tarka. Logic means Tarka. logic. And Shastra Sammata Tarka, it's called. A Tarka, understand that logic can never prove Brahma, prove the infinitude of Brahma. Logic cannot prove. Because logic can only take you from a finite entity to another finite. If A, then B. If B, then C. That can take you. Everything is finite. Within time and space, it can take you. But because of time and space, logic will fail. Then the Shastram, we have to latch on to the Shastra. Tasmadva, etasmad atmana akasha sambhutaha. Then from Atma only all this came. Then you use logic to assimilate those facts. That's how it works. So here, look at this. This idea, this dilemma of this person who is ready to conclude Brahma does not exist is being described by Shankara here. Look at this. Buddhyadi cheshta vishayam chet. Chet means if. If Brahma, if Brahma is Buddhyadi cheshta vishayam, means this Brahma can be conceptualized by all this gymnastics of the mind. Means logic and other things. Okay, mind is useful for so many things, and if Brahma were available for that kind of conceptualization and understanding, like I've understood everything else in this in my life, say if that were the case, then Brahma idam tat iti visheshataha grihyeta. Yeah, grihyeta vidiling. Then Brahma could have been specifically described or grasped, visheshatah specifically. In some specifications, Brahma could be stated like idam tat. Brahma is this, Brahma is that, Brahma has these attributes like that. So like that, Brahma can be conceptualized. Okay. And so, therefore, then my meditation can have a purpose. Nididhyasanam can have a purpose. And then after Nididhyasanam, if I see some white flashing light, then I can say I got it. Something could have happened in my meditation that I've been waiting for. It's worth waiting for. Some signal must be there. And that signal I will get very clearly. Idam tat iti. Okay. Okay. Vishechatah grihyeta buddhyadi uparame cha grahana karana abhavat anupalabhyamanam nasti eva brahma. And now what you are telling me in the 10th mantra, 11th mantra is all cheshta has to be dropped. Let the mind calm down. Let the mind not run around all over. Let it calm down. Let it be quiet. Let it recall the message of the Shastram. All the Mahavakyas, let it ruminate upon. Let it understand the meaning of the Mahavakyas. Already when my mind is active during Shravanam, I can't grasp Brahma. Brahma is not available. And now you are telling me you reduce the activity of mind, calm down the mind. If an active mind cannot understand Brahma, how can a calm mind understand Brahma? That's what he's saying here. Buddhyadi uparamecha. Uparame means all the cheshta abhava samaye. Cheshta is not there. Keep the mind calm. So active mind cannot grasp buddhi. How can a calm mind grasp buddhi? That's what he's saying here. Grahana karana abhava. Because there is nothing to grasp Brahma. Then there's nothing to hold on to Brahma. There is nothing to conceptualize Brahma in this nididhyasanam yoga samaye. Okay. Anu anupalabhyamanam. In that state where nothing can be grasped. I hope you're following. Not difficult. Then the conclusion would be what? Na asti eva Brahma. Brahma does not exist. Eva means it's crystal clear now. What is crystal clear? Brahma nasti eva. Brahma is there. That's going to be my conclusion. And with all sense organs, I can't grasp. Means with everything, eyes closed, ears closed, and all, nothing I'm going to grasp. Nothing can come into my mind. And therefore, that being the conclusion, Nasti eva Brahma. So Shankaracharya is presenting the opponent's view, the Purva Pakshi's view, yeah, or an intelligent student's view also. Our questions can be like this also. And so let's read the next sentence.
Do I
Yadhi.
continue?
Sorry, one second. It was supposed to be Anirudhji. I don't see him on the list here. Ashok, please go ahead.
Okay.
Yadhi
Yadhi
Karanagocharam
Karanagocharam
Tad Asti iti Prasiddham Loke
Tad Asti iti Prasiddham Loke
Viparitam cha
Viparitam cha
Sad iti
Asad iti
Ataha
Ataha
cha
cha
Anarthakaha Yogaha
Anarthaka Yogaha
Anupalabhyamanatvat
Anuplabhyama Anuplabhyamanatvad
Va
Va
Na Asti iti
Na Asti iti
Upalabdhavyam
Upalabdhyam
Brahma iti
Brahma iti
Evam Prapte.
Evam Prapte.
Gita Press, it says Prapta. It is not a spelling mistake, it is just Sandhi.
Okay.
Idam Uchyate
Idam Uchyate
Satyam.
Satyam.
So the word Satyam is coming in your notebook after the mantra. It should come before the mantra. It's part of the Sambandha Bhaashyam. It doesn't matter, it's a continuation. All right. So continuing that train of thought. Yadhi Karana Gocharam Tad Asti iti Prasiddham Loke. Loke Prasiddham Asti. This is very well understood all over. People understand this very well. Prasiddha. What is Prasiddham? What is well known? What is well known? Yadhi Karana Gocharam Tad Asti iti. Karana Gocharam. Whatever is perceived by the sense organs exists. Exists. There is a pot in my hand. Everybody nods their head. Yes, there is a pot in my hand. Why should everybody nod their head? Hey, everybody sees a pot and my hand also. I'm sitting here. Therefore, everybody agrees there is a pot in my hand. So when something is perceived by the sense organs, people agree that that object exists. That is prasiddham loke. Okay? And so, that is why when you go to the kitchen and you open the cabinet and you say, oh, means what? I don't see salt there. That means what? I know what to get from the grocery store. Next item in the list. Why it is not there? I don't see it. Therefore, it is not there. And yet I want it to be there. Therefore, I have to go to the grocery store and get some salt. This is how our life works. Siddham loke. And Viparitam cha asat iti. Viparitam means opposite of that. If I don't see something, then asat iti, non-existent iti. This is nobody, no child also needs to be taught all these things. Child also talks like that only. Talks like that only. And so, what is not perceived, the opposite of that means what? What is not perceived, yad karana agocharam is what you can put in brackets if you want. Yad hi karana agocharam. Agocharam means what? Perceived. Gocharam, perceived by karanas, karanani, senses in the mind. Tad asat not perceived means it is asat, non-existent. Well known. Loke prasiddham asti. Therefore, now I can draw one of two conclusions. Therefore, what are the two? One of two conclusions? Two conclusions. Ataha. Therefore, anarthakaha yoga. That yoga that you're talking about in detail, you spend so much time and people are sitting and meditating, thinking something is going to happen. Yoga anarthakaha. ये अनर्थक है, ये अनर्थ कार्य है. मतलब क्या है? इसका कुछ मतलब नहीं है, इसका कुछ फल नहीं है. There is no use of sitting in meditation. There is one conclusion I am going to draw. There is no use. Because Brahma is Adrishyam, Agrahyam and all, we gave all these adjectives we have said for Brahma. So, Anarthakaha Yogaha. Alternatively, okay, va, there is a va there. It's coming, right? Anupalabhya manatvat va. Alternatively, Anupalabhya manatvat na asti iti upalabdhyabhyam Brahma. Or I can draw another conclusion. I have Shraddha, and therefore I'm going to follow your yoga and Shravanam, Manam, etc. But now, since Brahma cannot be perceived, even after so much, after Nitidhyasanam, I don't see anything at all. Therefore, what will I conclude? Brahma Nasti. This all exercise culminates in the recognition, an enlightenment called what? Brahma Nasti. That conclusion I will come. That's what he's saying here. Nasti iti upalabdhavyam Brahma. Upalabdhavyam means Brahma is must be understood as na asti. Brahma must be understood, cognized as non-existent. Finally, after all these things, so much effort to say something doesn't exist. It is like saying, a man does not have horns. Man does not have horns. To come to that conclusion, what you should do? You should come to Gita classes, you should do Shravanam, then Mananam, then Nityasanam, and then you conclude man does not have horns. Like that. So, like that, Brahman Asti. All right. So, iti evam prapte idam uchyate. Iti evam prapte. When such a conclusion is drawn, when such an argument is proposed by somebody, iti evam prapte. When somebody argues like this, which is so convincing actually, idam uchyate. The following will have to be said. What will have to be said? Satyam. Correct. Good thinking. Good thinking, friend. That's very good. That's the meaning of Satya. Very good thinking. And you're right. That's the way to think. And that's how we pressure test ourselves. And so that's the way to think. Satyam. Satyam means yes. Yes means what? Yes, you're correct when you say Brahma is asabdam asparsham arupam abhyajam tatharasam nityam agandhavachayat. Correct. All that is correct. Brahma is Nirgunam, and Brahma cannot be. The more you try to grasp Brahma, the more it will elude you. Elude you. Okay, all that is correct. But we don't. The Satyam should not be applied to the final conclusion. If final conclusion is wrong, I'm going to tell you why. And that's what Shankaracharya is introducing. The next 12 and 13 also is going to tell the answer. Brahma Nasti. Don't say Brahma Nasti. You should say Brahma Asti only. And here are the reasons why. Okay? So that is the Sambandha Bhaashyam for mantra number 12. Let's chant 12 now. So nice, beautiful Purva Pakshi, which is everybody's dilemma. Purva Pakshi means we are also Purva Pakshis, right? For our benefit only. Naiva vacha na manasa
नैव वाचा न मनसा
praptum shakyo na chakshusha
प्राप्तुं शक्यो न चक्षुषा
astiti bruvatoonyatra
अस्तीति ब्रुवतोऽन्यत्र
katham tadupalabhyate
कथं तदुपलभ्यते
naiva vacha na manasa
नैव वाचा न मनसा
praptum shakyo na chakshusha
प्राप्तुं शक्यो न चक्षुषा
astiti bruvatoonyatra
अस्तीति ब्रुवतोऽन्यत्र
katham tadupalabhyate.
कथं तद् उपलभ्यते.
So as you can guess, the first line here, Naiva Vacha na Manasa Praptum Shakyaha na Chakshusha. So the first line is acknowledging the Purva Pakshi's original starting point, which is that Brahma has no attribute and therefore cannot really be comprehended as the way I'm used to comprehending all along, all my life. Is always concept, there is a definition, there is an object, at least there is a concept, energy, at least I don't see magnetic energy, but at least I can see magnets and therefore I can appreciate some force between two objects, metallic objects. So at least I can conceptualize magnetism and I can see it at work also. So therefore, all that is possible. But this Brahma, it doesn't fit any of those categories. So that first line agrees with that Purva Pakshi. Na eva vacha. Vacha, manasa, chakshusha. Three things are here. Vacha means words. Words cannot, Brahma cannot be expressed by words. Manasa, okay, no words. I don't need any words. Just mind. Somehow I just think of them. Not possible. And then chakshusha. So maybe I can see. There is Brahma somewhere. I must be able to see it. No, not possible. Chakshusha also not possible. By the eyes also. Praptum na shakyaha. Praptum. Praptum means avagantum. Whichever. If it is a physical thing, praptum means able to see, physically see it. If it is not, if it is something just to be understood, then that also is not possible. Avagantum na shakyaha. And then what? Second line. Second line. Asti iti bravatonnyatra katham tad upalabhyate. वह है ऐसा कहने वालों से अन्यत्र भिन्न पुरुषों को किस प्रकार उपलब्ध हो सकता है. So he's saying, hey, if the guy doesn't say Brahma exists, Asti, you don't say Brahma Asti, then it is not possible for you to appreciate Brahma at all. Because only your starting point must be Brahma Asti. You have to have a belief. Shraddha must be there. Without the Shraddha, there's no way of accessing Brahma. Shraddha, see how important Shraddha is. Because it's Nirgunam. It's Nirgunam. And so it is talking about something that really cannot be conceptualized. And it is then fortunately, Brahma is Aham, I. Fortunately. Otherwise, it becomes a concept. It will keep conceptualizing. So, he says here, therefore, your starting point must be Asti iti. Asti iti Brahman. Person who says, yes, Brahma exists. Asti iti Brahvataha anyatra. Other than a person who says Brahma exists. Means if a person says Brahma does not exist. I hope you're following me. Katham tadupalipyate. How are you going to understand Brahma? How are you going to? What is this Brahma Vidya we say? Brahma Vidya is of no use. No use for a person who says Brahma does not exist. We are not talking about a study of something that does not exist. No, we are not interested in that. So that's what he's saying here. All right. So let's look at the Bhaashyam. Naiva vacha,
नैव वाचा
na manasa na chakshusha,
न मनसा चक्षुषा
na anyaihi api indriyaihi,
न अन्येरे इन्द्रियै
na anyaihi api
न अद्येदि इति
indriyaihi
इन्द्रियैः
praptum shakyate ityarthaha.
प्राप्तुं शक्यते इत्यर्थः
तथा अपि
तथा अपि
सर्वविशेषरहितः अपि
सर्वविशेषरहितः अपि
जगतः मूलम् इति
जगतः मूलम् इति
अवगतत्वात्
अवगतत्वात्
अस्ति एव
अस्ति एव
कार्यप्रविलापनस्य
मनस्य लापनस्य
अस्तित्वनिष्ठत्वात्.
अस्तित्वनिष्ठत्वात्
So Bhagavan Bhashyakara is explaining.
Jaykumarji, there is one word before Naiva in the PDF, this thing, Satyam.
Yeah, Satyam, what you can do is, we covered it already. It should be put in the Sambandha Bhashya. Lift it and put it on top before the mantra,
Okay.
which we explained by saying what? Satyam. Satyam means that answer to that question is, yeah, you have a reason. There is a legitimate reason for your doubting, the doubt that you're having. Satyam. We can appreciate why you're having that doubt. All right. So, Naiva Vacha. Okay, Vacha means by words, by descriptions, okay, by words which are spoken. You should bring the praptum shakyate ityarthaha is the verb there. Praptum shakyate. It is possible to be gained, accomplished, understood. Praptum shakyate. Naiva vacha. Not by words, never by words, nor by the intellect, na manasa. Okay. And so, manasa na praptum shakyate. Therefore, whatever that's why anything that speculates, what is philosophy? Is often speculative. Speculative. And so many words, so many theories are proposed. It won't help. The greatest philosopher also, unless the Shastram is used, that person will miss the whole boat. Can't guess. You can't guess. I am the cause of the universe. Does anybody say? Does any Western philosopher say that? No, they can't say it. Maximum they can say, you have misunderstood yourself. Okay, that we can accept. You have misunderstood yourself. You are projecting something on yourself. That's also okay. We can say that. Somebody can come up with all that. They can say all that. But Abhinashiti Tadvidhi, how can I come to the conclusion that Atma is Abhinashi? How? Can't guess. No logic can prove that. No logic can prove. Shastra has to come and say. Then I can use logic to understand that very well. Okay? So, na chakshusha, not by the eyes. Okay? Shankaracharya says, understand chakshusha as all sense organs. Na anyaihi api indriyaihi. Neither by other sense organs also. Anyaihi api, also by other sense organs. When the word eye is used to bring in all other sense organs. So ears, etc. Can't be heard, etc. You should understand by that. Shankara is saying. प्राप्तुं शक्यते इत्यर्थः. The Vachaha, very famous statement from Taittiriya Upanishad. Yato Vacho Nivartante. When the Upanishad, that Valli concludes, Yato Vacho Nivartante Apraapya Manasa Saha. Yato Vacho Nivartante. That from which the words return back. Look at the beautiful statement. Return back. Words are supposed to do something. Kuch hona hai yahan. Communication is all words. Words, 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 words. From morning to evening, we use words and supposed to do something to us. Communicate. But yato vacho nivartante. There is no word available which can illumine my mind when it comes to Brahma. So words go and then come back saying, I'm not, I'm not, I don't know. I don't know. Kathopanishad, when we study it, we'll see beautiful stories there. There's Agni. Agni goes, and there is some Yaksha, bright colored Yaksha is standing there. Indra says, go find out. Somebody goes first. I think Agni goes first, let's say. And Agni goes first, and the Yaksha asks Agni, who are you? Kastvam, who are you? And then I'm Agni. I'm also called Jata Vedaha. Means what? All the Vedas came out of me. They also call me like that. He introduces himself, gives his resume. And then what can you do? Apidam sarvam. Apidam sarvam. Daheyam. I can burn everything that is there. Okay, okay. Don't worry about burning everything that is here. Take this small blade of grass. Just burn this one. And he tries hard. And this blade of grass doesn't move. Nothing happens to this blade of grass. Agni gets scared, says, this is something I've not seen before. He runs back to Indra and says, I can't do anything. Agni goes there, comes back empty-handed, cannot do the job that Indra had sent Agni to. Like this, Vayu also does this. And so, Yato Vacho Nivartante. And Kathopanishad, beautiful mantra is there. Na tatra chakshur gacchati na vag gacchati no mano na vidmaha. Na tatra chakshur gacchati. Na tatra. Tatra means Sanskrit, simple Sanskrit. There. Tatra is there. Tatra chakshuhu na gacchati. There the eyes cannot go or doesn't go. Na vag gacchati. There vak also doesn't go. Words also don't reach there. Na vagachati no manaha. No manaha means na u mana. Neither can the mind go there. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Na vidmo na vijani maha. Na vidmaha. We don't know. Means we don't. Upanishad is saying we don't know. We don't know means what? We don't know. This is how it is. This is how it is. And then na vijani mo yathida anushishya. We don't know how to say it. This is how we have learned it. Don't ask me anymore. This is how it is. Brahma. We've all thought through all these things. We are coming to the same conclusion that our acharyas have come to. Na vijani maha. Very beautiful. But then he says next, Anya deva tad viditat ato aviditat adhi. So you can just make a note. 1.3. Kathopanishad 1.3. Later on you can look at the words. Anya deva tad viditat. Hey, but Brahma is that which is viditat anyat. That which is other than what is known, anya deva tad viditat atho aviditat adhi. It is other than what is not known or not knowable. Brahma is other than that also. Like that, it's, the words are used. Iti shushruma purvesham. This is how we have heard from our elders. That's how they taught us. Like that, there is a beautiful mantra. So these are all things we can connect. And Satish ji said earlier, Nantah pragyam, na bahish pragyam, nobhayatah pragyam, etc. Adrishyam, adrishyam avyavaharyam, uh, adrishyam avyavaharyam, agrahyam alaksham, achintyam avyapadeshyam, etc. So all that comes. That is what he's saying. Naiva vacha na manasa praptum shakyaha na chakshusha. This is the Kathopanishad way of saying the same thing.
So
Same message.
1.9 in the Kathopanishad is same thought.
Kathopanishad has many mantras. Just quoted one mantra. So every mantra is like that one. Yat shrotrena na shrunopi, ye na shrotramitagum shrutam. Like that, all beautiful mantras. So there he says, that which can't be heard by the ears, but that by which the ears can hear. Brahma. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Nedam yedidam upasate. My God, this is another bold statement. Brahma is that which cannot be heard, but that by which ears can hear is called Brahma. Okay. Okay. Tadeva Brahma Tvam Vidhi. May you understand that to be the ear of the ears to be Brahma. But Brahma is Nedam Yedidam Upasate. It is not the one that you are worshipping. Bold statement, Nedam Yedidam Upasate. The one whom you are worshipping. Whom am I worshipping? Paroksha Ishvara. Whatever Devata I am worshipping, somebody there who is supposed to protect me. That is not Brahma. Why? Because I am Brahma. How can the Devata protect Brahma? Brahma does not need protection. But I am thinking that somebody is going to protect me. Like that Upanishad says. Okay? So much is there. All right. Yeah, we read this next sentence also. All right. Tatha api. Tatha api. Tatha api means what? Even though Brahma is like this, naiva vacha na manasa na chakshusha grihyeta, even though Brahma is of this nature, na tatra chakshur gacchati, yato vacho nivartante, even though Brahma is of this nature, every Upanishad says, at least if one Upanishad says Brahma can be, sometimes we look for the doctor who agrees with our views. We keep talking to doctor until one doctor we find he agrees with what we say. They should say the surgery is not needed. Doctor 1 says surgery is needed. Doctor 2 says, yeah, surgery is appropriate. Then I'm not comfortable with the answer. Third doctor says, yeah, I think you're right. The surgery is not needed for it. And then we found the right doctor. But unfortunately, here every Upanishad says the same thing. And so there is no Upanishad that is going to say something different. And so, tathapi, even though Brahma is of this nature, still, sarva Vishesha Rahita Api, even though Brahma is bereft of all kinds of attributes, Sarva Vishesha Rahita. Nothing. You can't say tall, short, bright, dark, this, that. You can come up with your own adjectives. None of those adjectives will fit Brahma. Sarva Vishesha Rahita Api, despite Brahma being free of all attributes, any and all attributes, Jagataha Moolam iti avagatatvat. Okay. Because Brahman is understood as Jagataha Moolam, the root of the universe, the cause of the universe, the Adhishthanam, the base, the substratum of the universe. Jagataha Moolam iti avagatatvat. That we know. Shastram talks about everybody, even the Nastikas will say Brahma is Jagat Moolam. The Buddha also says Jagat Moolam is Brahma, but he says Brahma is Nasti, is Shunyam. But he agrees Brahma is Jagat Moolam. Okay. So, Jagataha Moolam iti avagatatvat. Brahma being understood as the cause of the universe. Okay. Asti eva karya pravilapanasya astitva nishtatvat. Does the world exist or not? First question is there. Does the world exist or not? Okay, yeah, world exists. Everything exists. Otherwise, how did you get married? Two non-existent people got married, or what? You are showing me an album. And all these things, tamasha, you are showing me. Okay. So much is there. There's so much to show. It all exists. That's why it's all shown. Whole history is there. Went to all this cruise ship and cruise whatever vacation. So much is there to talk about. Why so much is there to talk about? They're all existing. It all happened. It's all real. That's why you talk about it. And so whole history is there, resume is there, date of birth is there, birthdays are celebrated, everything is going on. Everything is real. Everything exists only. World exists, life exists, people exist, everything exists. World exists. Okay. World exists. And then asti eva karya pravilapanasya astitva nishtatvat. A. Karya pravilapanasya. Pravilapana means what? Resolution. Resolution. Okay. Sublation. They use all these words. Sublation. When the karyam is disintegrated, this is karyam. Karyam means product, effect. It's an effect, a useful effect. It has a form and it also has a name, and I call it pot. Ghataha. Ghataha asti also. Ghataha asti. All of us agree Ghataha asti. Okay? Pot exists. Karyam exists. So look at this. Karya pravilapanasya. Let's replace the word karya by ghata. Ghata pravilapanasya. If the pot is resolved, okay, the pot is resolved. Means what? The pot is cracked and broken. I crush the pot now. Then what happens? There will be pot sherds, pieces of the pot. And you say it is pot sherd. Why? Because you're seeing curved pieces, this pieces with curvature. And then you can make it out and say, oh, these are all pieces. It used to be a pot. It used to be a pot. And you can make it all out. And it is now not a pot. It's not a pot. Previously, Gataha Asti. Now what? Gataha Nasti. Potsherd Asti. Potsherd Asti. Gata Amshaha Asti. Gata Amshaha Asti. Gataha Nasti. Pot doesn't exist. Because if pot existed, you can say, get me some water in this pot. You can't get water in with potsherds, pot pieces. So what happened? Karya pravilapanasya means what? Of that karyam which has now resolved means which is no longer existing. It has given in its place potsherds has come. In the place of pot, there is potsherds. Correct? And so karya pravilapanasya astitva nishtatvad. What is gone? What was there? Gata asti. Then after it breaks, gata nasti. Okay. Gata amshaha asti. Astitva nishtatvad. Previously, gata asti. Now, gata nasti. But gata amshaha asti. That asti keeps on continuing. Then after gata amshaha asti, what will be there? Mrita asti will be there. Finely ground and paste. And mrit asti will be there. Gata amsha also nasti eva. So asti nasti, asti nasti, nasti. What is all this nasti? All this nama rupa is undergoing nasti. Nasti impacts nama rupa, but that asti always asti only. Asti continues to remain. Asti seems to be transferred from pot to potsherds. From potsherds, astitvam seems to be transferred to clay. And so that asti keeps on persisting. That is what is astitva nishtatvat. Because of the persistence of existence. Literal translation. Okay, persistence of existence. Or persistent existence of existence, whichever way you want to write down. Nishtha means what? Stability, staying put, permanence of existence. Yeah. Karya pravilapanasya. Karyam is gone, but karanam. Karyam is replaced by karanam. That karanam also is a karyam. Then that karyam gives way to its karanam. Then that also is a karyam. Then that karyam gives way to another karanam. Astitva nishtatvat. Yeah. So he's saying asti eva. Because that asti is always there. Because of the persistence of that existence, something always exists. Asti eva, Brahma asti eva. You have to come to the conclusion that Brahma asti eva. You can't say nasti. At least somewhere in this deduction, if you say something doesn't exist, you can't come to that. You can never come to a point where it doesn't exist. That is why science works fantastic. It just keeps on working. Because what asti eva? Physicists can break and break and break, and they know something exists. A physicist will never say, you're doing all this research to do what? To find what? Atoms are broken into electrons, protons, neutrons. Then they are further breaking it down. To do what? Break it down to find nothing or what? Nothing. If they say there is nothing, if their instruments don't capture anything, you know what it means? Their instruments are incapable of capturing it. We need better instruments. That's what he will say. He will not say the cause does not exist. That is science. That is rational thinking. That's the beauty of science. That's why science thrives. Because if he concludes nasti, science ends. Journey of science will end. And it is never going to end because they are rational thinkers and asti only. Something will exist. That is what Shankara is saying. Astitva nishtadvat asti eva. Okay. अस्ति एव कार्य प्रविलापनस्य अस्तित्व निष्ठत्वात्. Yeah, I hope you followed it, right? Fairly straightforward. All right, let's read the next one. तथा हि
तथा हि
इदं कार्यम्
इदं कार्यं
सूक्ष्मतारतम्यपारम्पर्येण
सूक्ष्मतारतम्यपारम्पर्येण अनुगम्यमानं
सद्बुद्धिनिष्ठाम् एव
तद्बुद्धिनिष्ठाम् एव
अवगमयति.
अवगमयति.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, tatahi. It's accordingly, following that reason, following that rational thinking, following that logic, accordingly what? Now let's apply this logic to the universe, to the world, the Jagat that exists in front of us. And how will you apply it? Well, how did the universe evolve according to our Shastra?
Atmana Akasha Sambhuna.
Yeah. So tasmadva etasmad atmana akasha sambhutaha akashad vayu. So Atma is there. Atma always was, always is. Atma is there. And then atmanaha akasha sambhutaha akashad vayu vayu ragni agnirapaha adbhyah prithvi prithivya oshadayaha oshadibhyo annam annat purusha. Purusha means the human being. That's the order that is given. 1 minute. You can pause the recording for a second. So, Purushaha, human being. This is from Atma to Purusha. Now, how do you resolve? You have to go backward, reverse direction. From Purusha, go to Atma. You have to do. So, Purusha came from Annam. Annam came from Prithvi. From Prithvi, you come back to Jalam. Jalena or Jalat, Agni, etc. You come down to Atma. Okay, you have to come down to Atma. And Atma exists or not? Atma does not exist if you say. We have a problem. Okay, we have a problem. We'll have a problem. Why? Because Shastram says Atma is Jagat Karanam. Jagat Karanam, because that's the order is there. Atmanaha Akasha Sambhutaha. So Atma is a Jagat Karanam. And you can't say Karanam does not exist by the logic we just said before. And so here, look at this. Sukshma, okay, Tatahi Idam Karyam. Sukshma Taratamya Paramparyena Anugamyamanam Sadbuddhi Nishtam Eva Avagamati. Sukshma Taratamya Paramparya. By successively, by going through intermediate stages of successive increase in subtlety, Sukshma. Every step, right? Prithvi has 5 attributes, right? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. 5 attributes it has. You can smell, you can taste, you can feel, you can see. Rupa, Agni is Rupa. You can hear also. Prithvi. Then you resolve Prithvi. Then what? The Jalam is more sukshmam than, more subtle than, subtler than Prithvi. It has only 4 attributes. It doesn't have smell. So 5 minus 1, 4. Agni has only 3 attributes. What are the 3? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa. Rasa and Gandha it doesn't have. Smell and taste, Agni doesn't have. Agni Tattvam does not have. So it's getting subtler and subtler, fewer and fewer attributes until you come to Akasha, it has only Shabda Guna. Shabda Guna. That is why Akasha and ears are connected. Shabda Guna. And so, Sukshma Taratamya Paramparyena, in this order, in this sequence, what do you call that? Corresponding in this particular order of Sukshma Paramparya, Sukshma Taratamya. Taratamya means gradation. In this continuous gradation of increasing subtlety, Sukshmatvam. Okay. Then what happens if you do that? Anugamyamanam Sadbuddhi Nishtameva Avgamayati. When you do that, finally you end up with Atma, Sadbuddhi, Asti Buddhi, existence. You will end up only with existence. Why? Because of the previous logic. Same pot logic has to be used. Same sign. Bring in any scientist, you ask him to give you any example, he's going to come back and say atoms and this and that. Quark astiva na? Do quarks exist or not? And he'll laugh at you. Of course, quarks exist. Why do you think we are proposing quarks? Because quarks exist. Therefore, anugamyamanam means understood and being understood. That after doing this process, that being the final entity is being understood as asti buddhi, sat buddhihi, nishtam. Nishtam means it is it terminates, it culminates in the existence, absolute existence of what can you say? Absolute existence of existence. See, at this point, we don't have proper English words also. Absolute terminates in absolute existence. Okay. Sadbuddhi nishtam eva avagamayati. It reveals. Avagamayati means it reveals. This particular resolution. You don't have to destroy any pot to understand the astitva. Don't think you have to go and break your pots and all that. No, you don't have to break anything. Just cognitively, you can understand that this process, avagamayati, reveals. It makes me understand niche is there. So it makes me causal niche is there. Sanskrit students. It reveals, it makes me know, it makes me understand the continuity of the idea of existence. Existence cannot go anywhere. Namarupa keeps on changing. Destruction, when somebody says, they say Brahma created, and then they say Vishnu protected or sustained, and then Shiva destroyed. They can only, because Brahma created Namarupa, not Astitvam. Vishnu sustained Namarupa, not Astitvam. You don't need Vishnu to protect Astitvam. Vishnu himself exists because of Astitvam only, Brahma only. What about Shiva? He destroyed. Hey, he can destroy Namarupa. All right. All this change in form, name and form is happening. Pralaya is happening. What is Pralaya? Brahma is gone. No, Brahma is not gone. Jagat, Namarupa is all gone. Everything has become avyaktam, unmanifest. That is what is Pralaya. So Namarupa change I can understand. But Astitvam, it has to all resolve. It has to all terminate, culminate in Astitva Nishtham eva. Okay? Avagamayati. Let's read the next one. See if we can finish that. Yada api
यदा अपि
Vishaya pravilapanena
विषयप्रविलापनेन
pravilapyamana buddhihi
प्रविलाप्यमाना बुद्धिः
tada api
तदा अपि
sa sat pratyaya garbha eva.
सा सत्यप्रत्ययगर्भा एव
Not satya. Sat pratyaya garbha eva.
सत् प्रत्ययगर्भा एव
Viliyate
विलीयते
buddhihi hi
बुद्धिः हि
napramanam
न प्रमाणम्
sadasaloho.
सदसतो
Yeah, so it should be sadasatoho
सदसतोः
yathatmya avagame.
याथात्म अवगमे.
Right. So he's concluding. He's concluding this thought process, which we have already understood. So, yadapi vishaya pravilapanena. Whenever you take a vishaya means any object, anything. Vishaya is a thing. Okay. Pravilapanena. Pravilapyamana buddhi. Two things happen. Okay. Here, he's connecting an object to the cognition of the object. This word, this object pot, you can't recognize, really speaking, unless you have a pot vritti in your head. Some vritti has to take place, which is what makes you say, yes, I see a pot in the hand. To say that, there has to be an equivalent with vritti. It means what? A thought. That is the word buddhi here. Buddhi. When the pot resolves into potsherds, the pot buddhi also resolves into potsherds buddhi. Pot thought resolves into potsherds thought. That's what he's saying. He's bringing in thought also into the picture. Okay, so obviously, because potsherds, if you are able to recognize that, means you have potsherd buddhi. You don't have pot buddhi. You can have pot was there buddhi. Pot was there buddhi is there, but now potsherd buddhi is there. What is saying? Yada api vishaya pravilapanena. Whenever this pravilapanam happens of an object, which is accompanied by pravilapyamana buddhi. Hey, even the buddhi, the corresponding thought also is resolved. When those things are happening, they also gone. There's no longer pot thought in the head. There's only pot shirt thought. You can't have a pot thought. You can't. You can only have a what was their thought, which is different. So pot shirt thought is there. When that happens, sada api sa sat pratyaya garbha eva viliyate. Then what happens? Okay, pot is gone, pot thought is gone. Potsherd's thought is potsherds are there, and potsherd thought is also there. But still, tadapi, still, sa means what? Sa buddhihi is talking about that thought, potsherd thought. Is sat pratyaya garbha eva. It has in it, garbha means a womb, literal meaning is womb. That thought is really pregnant with what? Sat pratyaya. It has existence in it. It has sat pratyaya in it. It is just pregnant with existence. Means existence cannot go anywhere. It is always there. It is the existence that sustains pot. It is existence that sustains the pot buddhi. It is the existence that sustains pot sherds. It is the existence that sustains the pot sherd buddhi also. He is just focusing on the buddhi. Sa means buddhi. Strilinga. Sa buddhi sat pratyaya garbha eva. What a word it is. It is also just low, it contains in it, its essence is sapratyaya, means astitvam asti. Asti, asti, asti is there in that buddhi also. Whatever idea you have also, sat is there. The external object also, sat is there. Okay. So, sat never disappears. Viliyate. Viliyate means what? That buddhi, that gata buddhi resolves into a gata amsha buddhi, which is sat pratyaya garbha only, which also has astitvam in it. Okay? Yeah, so what is happening? Objects are getting gone. It was there here, now it's gone. There, here, gone. And then this astitvam seems to be transferred from pot to potsherds to clay and so. Okay? This Ishta is there. We saw that earlier. And he's saying, Buddhihi naf pramanam sad asatoho yathatmya avagame. When it comes to understanding, yathatmya means what? Understanding what's what. Entire science is understanding what's what. Anything other than that is wrong. That's why you can confidently put up all these laws. Laws of motion, laws of mechanics, laws of magnetism, laws of this, laws of that. Everything there is a law. Biological laws are there, physiological laws are there, psychology laws are there operating. Okay, everything is a law. And how did you come up with all these laws, my dear friends? Nobody comes and writes on the board. God doesn't write anything on the board, doesn't tell me anything, nothing. Books are trying their best to tell me, but I need a teacher to explain all those things. To understand all these things, how many years it takes? But it's all there. They're all laws. And what is the pramanam? Who's to say all these laws are true? Teacher told me laws are true. F is equal to force is equal to mass into acceleration. Teacher told me, therefore it is true. No. Buddhihi, naha buddhihi, our buddhihi eva. Our buddhi is a pramanam. Our buddhi is our only anchor. We are all surviving because we have a buddhi. That is why Gayatri mantra, Dhiyo yonah prachodayat, may you inspire my intellect. That is why that mantra is so good it is. Because the buddhi is so important. Important to help myself and to help others also. Buddhi is needed. Only once I can help myself, then I can help any number of people. So buddhi, Here he says buddhihi he. Indeed, our mind alone is the proof. Pramanam. Let's use the word proof. Is a proof for what? Tad asatoho yathatma avagame. In understanding this sad and asat, existence, non-existence, and all that, in understanding this, the proof is my mind only. Because this reasoning is done by me only. God cannot tell that I exist, my existence is being transferred to, right now I'm breaking, and my existence is transferred to pieces, and from there it is going to go to clay. Nobody is going to say all. My buddhi only processes all. And so, because of that, Brahma asti eva. Like that, Shankara is telling so far. So we'll continue. The discussion is not done because the second half of the mantra is coming up next. And so look at how profound all these things are, right? How subtle it is, how much, not difficult. Just we need a, what do you call it? Presence of mind is needed. Some staying power is needed. For 1 hour, we should be able to sit and say, yeah, now I understand. I may not understand entirely. I need to listen to it again. Good. Perfect. That's how it is. Our rishis also had to listen to it again. Shuka also had to listen to Vyasa again and again. Where is the book? It says the Shuka did not have any doubts. Constant doubt. Arjuna is having doubt. Upanishad also constant Q&A is there. So we also have the same Q&A. That's the beauty of this. And so in this mantra, that Brahma asti iti bhavaha is being brought out. Because the Purva Pakshi was there, who said Brahma nasti, etc. He was talking about all this meditation and all, it's waste of time. They're talking about something that is not existing. Counter that, we have this. We'll come back and review this. Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Desho Yam Kshobarahitah Sajjana Santu Nirbhayaha Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Thank you.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.